Get one, come on. I don't think fish care. There's one. Yeah, that's a grande. That's a grande. Get out of there. Get stinking out of there. Holy smokes. How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the channel. We got a big one on the frog. Bring it up in here. Yes, sir. On today's episode, well, my name's Tyler, didn't mention that. On today's episode, we're gonna be talking about some general topwater tips to help you guys become better bass anglers, because that's what we're all about here. And we're gonna catch some fish just like that. Let's get into it. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the Mystery Tackle Box channel. My name is Tyler Anderson, and I make it my goal over on my channel, TRF, to help you guys become better bass anglers and more efficient bass anglers. I'm talking your skills, your knowledge, and your equipment, using them all together to catch more bass. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, make sure you guys go over to my channel and subscribe, as well as subscribe here to Mystery Tackle Box, because they allow me the platform to teach what I want here on this channel. Now, in this video, MTB has tasked me to talk about some kind of general topwater tips. They didn't really give me a script, didn't really have any direction for me. They just said, hey, catch some fish on the topwater and teach people how to fish topwaters better. And so I've made a full topwater masterclass on my channel. If you search Tyler's Reel Fishing Topwater, you'll find that video. But I didn't really go specifically into how your rod strength, your line strength, and your hook thickness all work together when it comes to topwater fishing, and how you can better match those together for efficiency to become a better bass angler, and of course, not only catch more fish, but lose less fish. So that is what the bulk of this video is going to talk about, as well as us hopping back on the water together and catching some more topwater frog fish, which, trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss that fish catching footage at the end. But without further ado, let's talk about those three things: your rod, your line, and your hooks, and how they all properly should work together. As I've traveled around the country making YouTube videos, I have talked to every style of angler, every skill level of angler, and I have found that guys catch fish and have whatever level of efficiency they are comfortable with, using all different types of rod, reel, and line combos, oftentimes though with the same exact lures. And you may wonder, how can somebody that's fishing, let's say for example a topwater frog on a 7/6 heavy action rod with 65-pound braid, how can they catch fish, but somebody that fishes it on a 𝗙𝗹𝗶𝗹 with 12-pound mono, how can they also catch fish on a topwater frog? Now, of course, one is going to be vastly more efficient than the other, but how can both of those work at the same time? The reasoning for that is because people are adjusting and making different decisions with their hook set, with their rod, and of course with their line to get those fish in the boat. So let's talk about rod first. Different rods, you know, the powers are going to be medium, heavy, extra light. There's a whole gambit of rod powers. But I think the majority of time for bass anglers, it is anywhere from a medium to a heavy. So medium, heavy, and heavy, of course, with different tapers and actions on those rods. But we're gonna kind of leave those off to the side and just talk about the medium to the heavies, and of course the rod lengths as well. So we're gonna take a topwater frog for this video as the main example. We'll probably, you know, dive into a few other topwaters as we talk, but because the fish catches in this video are with the frog, I thought it was most applicable for us to talk about the frog in the video. So when talking about a topwater frog, you can catch fish on whatever type of rod and line you want. But if you are throwing a heavier action rod, you have to downsize your line or downsize the amount of strength you put into your hook set. So let's take, for example, a 7/4 heavy action rod. I love using that for all kinds of shallow water fishing applications, whether it's flipping a jig, throwing a frog over shallow vegetation, shallow bushes. But if I throw that rod on 20-pound mono, 15-pound mono, you have a much higher chance of breaking off if you have a hard hook set as opposed to a hard hook set with braided line. And so I hope you guys kind of see where I'm going with this, is that if your hooks, let's take example, the hooks here on a frog, very heavy wire hooks, very hard to flex the hooks on a frog. If you're throwing that on a medium action bait caster, it's possible, but you're going to have to bulk up your line to completely eliminate the stretch. That of course makes hook penetration a lot harder when you have stretch in your line, and when you have bend in your rod, that makes hook penetration harder as well. So you can throw it on a medium action rod, but because of the hook thickness on your frog, you're going to have to set the hook a whole lot harder. Now let's say you throw the exact same frog, but you have it on a heavier action rod. You can afford with a hook set that's not near as hard as you did on the medium action rod, because that heavy action rod has less bend to it. So if you throw a heavy action rod with 50-pound braid on the frog, you really don't have to absolutely give them the business. You can, I prefer to, but you can get away with a lighter hook set on those styles of rod, reel, and line combos than you can on a medium action rod with lighter line. Now for topwaters, I'm gonna say throw braid for everything. Braid is just the best line for topwater in my opinion, because it floats, and most of the time you're not worried about bass seeing your lures. Unless you're in really clear water and you want to put a monofilament leader on there. For everything holy, do not throw topwater on fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon sinks. It's the only line, at least in the 3 main lines that bass fishermen use, that sink. So please don't throw fluorocarbon. That will not be beneficial to your topwater fishing in the slightest. But when it comes to monofilament versus braid, I think because fish are not generally, worried about seeing your line, it's mostly a reaction thing. They see your topwater, they chase it down, and they eat that thing. You can get away with it even in clear water on braid. Now switching real quick from the topwater walking frog to the topwater popper, I hardly ever throw this on a heavy action rod, and the reasoning for that is because the hook strength is different between the topwater frog and the topwater popper. It's a no-brainer just by looking at the thickness of these two hooks, the treble hook on the popper, and really the treble hooks on a lot of different lures out there, topwater, walking bait, anything that has a treble hook, crankbaits. It just does not take as hard of a hook set to get a treble hook penetrated into a fish's mouth than it does a frog hook. So you can get away with throwing a medium or a medium heavy action rod with monofilament or a lighter braided line if you prefer. I love throwing a popper on a 7-foot medium action bait caster with anywhere from 30 to 40 pound braid, even 15-pound monofilament. I've thrown it on before, but really, like I said, braided line is what I use for everything as a huge topwater tip that I have. So here's an overview for y'all if you are still confused. Hopefully this clears up any last questions y'all may have about this specific topwater, topic. Like I said, topwater deserves a masterclass, and I've made that on my channel called Tyler's Reel Fishing. But when it comes to this topic, you want to use your hook set strength, your rod power, your line size, and the hook thickness on your lure, all in conjunction with one another. Understand how they all work together to best hook and land those fish, because doing it improperly, having too strong of a hook set for your hook size, having not thick enough line for the cover you're fishing, having the wrong decision there can lead to lost fish, and we don't want that. So enough talking. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something from this video. Like I said, on my channel, I love teaching you guys how to become better bass anglers, and sometimes that's not necessarily teaching a certain intricate, detailed technique or lure. It's just reminding you guys of what the best practices are to become efficient bass anglers. So let's hop back in the water, see some awesome frog fish catches in shallow vegetation, and I'm excited because this stuff is awesome. We'll see y'all out there. Gosh, big it, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Yeah, yes. Get out of there and get in here on the old regular pad perch. The walking back and forth one. Again, that fish looked way bigger when I was fighting him in. Holy cow. He sharked it, and I got him. We just gotta get... There he is. There he is, finally. He wasn't even that big. Come on. No wonder he couldn't get his mouth around it.
That thing looked huge when I first
looked. It could be multiple fish.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. Okay. Fish are biting, folks. And I'm gonna downsize to the 𝗙𝗹𝗶𝗶. There's one. Gosh. Oh, there's a fish. That's what I meant to say. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Hard fighter. Small heart, big body. Wait, no. Small body, big heart. That's what it is. Ugh. On a little black 𝗙𝗶𝗶𝗶. This one is definitely more of a popper imitation than the big pop and pad perch, but it is a frog. Come on, fishies. Oh, and he's got it. Yes, sir. I watched the frog disappear, and that's a nice one. Skinny boy, but a big old healthy boy. Yes. Yes, bring it in here. Oh, baby. That was cool. Switch to the bigger presentation again and got him. Let's go. Boom, I love it when they get the frog way down there. There's almost no lure better than a frog when they actually eat it. You know, when they get that thing down there, hookup ratio can be high. And that's a nice one. Thanks, buddy. Gosh, oh my 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 gosh. Oh, yes. Get in here, buddy. You looked so much bigger the entire fight. I mean, you're still a nice fish, but you look like a 5-pounder the whole time. Oh, yes. Let's go, baby. That right there is how we do it, folks. Biggins all day long on the poppin' pad perch. Heck yeah. Oh, I keep falling and hitting my knee on this clip. Gosh, bring it in here, bring it in here, bring it in. Oh yes, I got a good old pack of weeds. That's what you want right there, so you can just ski them across the top of the water. All right, well, I hope you all have enjoyed this video. We're gonna finish off. Oh, come on. Come on, he's got me stuck on some pads. There we go. That's a good one to finish the video with, y'all. Whoo! All right. Bring it up in here. Yes, sir. That's a good one to finish the video with. If you enjoyed, which I hope you did, hit the subscribe here to the MTV channel. And of course, go over to my channel, Tyler's Real Fishing, and check it out. My whole goal is to teach the world how to become better bass anglers, starting with you guys and the folks over on my channel, TRF, and hopefully catch more fish like this one. We'll see y'all next time.